That's right. It's election season. Welcome to the garage shop of democracy. We're fixing cars. We're we're tuning up. We're looking at the parties and we're saying that's no good. That's gonna cost you more.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what are election podcasts like. I haven't listened to any.
Oh, I don't want to listen to them. They sound probably horrible. But there's us and we're cool. So yeah.
I mean, it's genuinely. I mean, when you years ago when you showed me Laga de Nación, for the first time,
I'm sorry about that.
I was baffled because it's so dry and it's so boring. And then the first thing I see from it after finding out it's a podcast is just like the Mercedes-Benz arena fucking packed out with just a bunch of German politics nerds just going like, are you ready to talk polling averages?
Jesus Christ.
Olaf.
I don't think that's ever happened to him ever.
No.
No, definitely not.
Well, I mentioned to Kira on the bonus, and I can mention it to Uma as well again, that because like Uma was, I mean, she was there, and like the flags that were at half mast at the Bundestag the other day.
Oh yeah.
And then we were sitting and I think you were there too. Someone asked like, "Oh, why are they that way?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Olaf Scholz," and they believed me.
Oh,
we're too powerful.
Yeah.
We're far too powerful. People believe when we say things.
Yeah. I still wonder why they had the flags like that, though.
What day was that? That was Sunday, right?
Yeah.
It was Sunday, but I assume they didn't put them like that on Sunday because there's no one at the Bundestag that day. I don't know. Really,
There's gotta be someone.
They put them back
to,
up
like,
later
break
in the
in.
day.
They gotta pay like maintenance people or something.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, there's security people, of course, but I mean, like,
Can they not do the flags?
sure, yeah, sure.
I bet they're on like an automatic pulley system.
Yeah, like
true.
some fancy people's blinds. Yeah, absolutely.
Fancy people.
My automated flag system knows when to be sad.
Yeah, exactly.
It does like Twitter trending topics and like hashtag genocides trending. It's just like, oh, we gotta bring these down. It's a very simple mechanism.
Yeah, it's like whenever like anything happens, there's always like those like they don't exist anymore on Twitter, but like the ISIS Twitter accounts that just be like, yeah, we did that, but they would just be automated.
Yeah. They arrested ISIS's graphic designer.
Wait, what?
Did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Where?
Oh.
He was in Texas.
Oh my god, of course he was.
Hey. Welcome to your weekly Corner Späti. It is me, Kieran. I'm joined by Uma.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Nick.
Hey.
As you might have guessed from my rip-roaring intro, we're going to talk election fever, baby. Everyone's got it. Isolate yourselves, maintain social distancing.
Make yourself a tea, and that's all you can do, because we're in Germany.
Yeah.
Medication does not exist.
Put on a mask, because it's airborne. Election fever. I
just have that video that went viral when COVID started of those two people just spraying shit at each other. I think one is like red and the other is like blue, which makes sense for German elections. So.
I think the first time I got sent that, it was someone, a friend of mine just sent that into a group chat and be like, yeah, I had a first date like this once. I was like, lol.
I think that in order to kick off election season, we need to talk about Germany's now having to come up with the fact that there might be a secret special new third coalition that has never existed before. And I don't know did I see it in the chat that you sent me, or was it somewhere else, of the Raspberry Coalition?
Oh, no, it's the blueberry one, right?
It's
it
called
blueberry or raspberry?
in German it's called Brombeer Coalition,
Oh.
which is like neither actually.
Brombeer is it's neither. It's the what's it called?
Like blackberry?
Blackberry?
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
don't
it might
know.
be
In
blackberry.
Spanish
I
it's
think
called
Brombeers.
mora, which
Brombeeren. Belkenbeer. Yeah, that's blackberry.
Yeah, okay. The Blackberry Coalition then.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was in English the Raspberry Coalition. One, I'm glad that they decided not to pick a name of the country that Germany wishes it could have colonized, like Jamaica or Bahamas or something of that sort, or the Barbados Coalition, I think was another. No, wait. Yeah, I don't know. They have all these
Barbados is CDU, AFD,
FDP. Yeah. So, but
fucking cursed.
yeah, the Blackberry Coalition would then be the CDU, the SPD, and the Bündnis Sarah Wagenknecht.
Mm-hmm.
So
why did they choose such a sweet, nice, cute, whimsical name for a bunch of evil people?
I don't know.
It's gonna be like 10 years time. It's just gonna be like Germany's entering into its second consecutive Sleepy Time Bear coalition, which is of course made of the NPD, the AFD. It's like no.
Yeah.
It does have like a Brothers Grimm kind of quality to it, right?
It's like they're like, you can't, if when you're mean to me, this is who you're being mean to. It's like a raspberry, like a sleepy, sleepy
just
bear.
a little, It really is. The thing that I really appreciate too is that then the possibility that this coalition just could exist, because previously every party has pretty much put out a, more or less we will not go in a coalition with Die Linke. And it really makes me wonder of like, damn, what is BSV doing like differently that it's like, oh, well, we might consider. It's like, oh, wait, they're racist. Like,
it's racism.
That's it.
It's crazy how transparent that is, because like, so I think today or yesterday there was a Forza poll that was like probably not to be trusted, like probably not representative compared to the aggregate, blah blah blah. But it was funny, and it was because it had both Die Linke and Bundeswehr Wagenknecht at exactly 4%. And I was like, we did it!
We split the left!
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, because that's also the thing that I was just wondering too, of just like how long was their little like stint gonna go? Because they're not. I mean, who knows? I guess maybe like federally they could make moves, but on like the national level, they have like they have the same problem that like Die Linke does. Like they can get a lot of people from like. I think we talked about this like earlier when we talked about the BSV of like they could get like SPD, like unhappy SPD voters into like a party that then is not quite as far left as Die Linke, still like kind of a center left, focusing very
particularly like the anti what is it, Zweitnende, what's that called again? The word Schultz uses for the fact that they've like, we now have to increase military spending.
Yeah.
The change in time. What's that called?
Zeitwende. Yeah, you had it right.
Zeitwende. Okay, all right. Like I think that's certainly in the EU elections, that's who they were picking up.
Yeah, but I think it's also just like on the national scale, the parties that then, especially in the West, we have to like keep in mind too that then like the CDU and the SPD have much larger committed voter bases than say in the East, where like the CDU is actually quite successful in like Mecklenburg-Vorpommern and even in like Thuringia, where although they aren't like in the government, they're still like one of the larger parties. Yes, the AFD has taken a lot of votes from them, this and that and that, but they're like not like struggling. you know. But in say like, you know, states like NRV or like Bavaria, for example, those aren't like it's hard to get those people, especially because they're like generational voters of these parties, where people like very much identify of like, oh well, I vote the SPD or CDU because my family's always voted this way. It's like it's a thing that I think is like hard for like Americans especially to like understand of like, oh well, like why, like it is very like class-based voting as well too, you know. I mean, I assume this is quite a normal thing in other European countries that have longer, like long-standing party traditions. But yeah, so it's like it doesn't surprise me in any way that then like on a national scale, BSV is probably going to have absolutely no impact, you know.
Yeah, I this is kind of slightly one of my predictions of the Bundeswahlwahlrecht was we just get Die Linke again, warts and all, but she's in charge of it. Like that's kind of what we're ending up with, because
that's why she made the party.
Yeah, it is why she made the party. She wanted to be in charge of Die Linke.
Like that's it. Like she has such a massive ego that she just wanted to be, you know, main chica in charge.
Yeah, and it's caused a bit of a split down ideological lines a little bit in terms of like like the workerist wing versus the movement wing, if you want to call it that, barely.
Yeah. I mean, you could even say in the sense too of like the like cosmopolitan versus like the rural left. You know?
Yeah, like it's Die Linke is being sustained or has been sustained so far by like East German cities.
Yeah.
And Bundeswahlwahlrecht is cleaning up in East German not cities. Whatever you want to call that, whether that's suburbia, dwarfs, countryside, probably
the province.
Provençal, yeah, all politics is French because they're the first republic and I respect them or something. I don't know. It's the Belle Epoque, baby. France is perfect. What's World War One? Anyway, yeah. So like the with all of that, it's just kind of like the way I feel like this could play out, because I can jump ahead a little bit in the notes and mention that like Die Linke is not getting invited to like leadership debates, which oof. But at the same time, it is like, okay, so how does this play out? Let's say Bundeswahlwahlrecht does well. Like they get some seats federally, they hold on to like their places in East German states, and they establish themselves, and Die Linke continues to like falter. Well, then eventually people are going to be like, well, the only left option is Bundeswahlwahlrecht, and then you get like a bunch of like blue-haired, I don't know what you want to call us, people like the urban kind of left people start joining Bundeswahlwahlrecht, and it becomes an ideologically confused mess. And hey, presto, we have Die Linke from 10 years ago.
Yeah. I don't like. Have you ever interacted with like a young BSV person on the internet?
No, I think because when I left the country.
Oh yeah,
the momentum never built. I didn't really interact with any BSW people because they didn't exist.
They are maybe the worst of everything, because it's like, there's
how do you even find them?
Oh, because they're really like they post too much. One of the funniest was that then there was this guy he has to be like fucking like 18, 19 or whatever. He's like the head of his like local BSV, but he never met Sarah Wagenknecht before. And so there's a video of him that's it's embarrassing. I really feel for the guy. But just like a nerd who posts on like Twitter all the time of just like kind of this like, you know, very like nationalist oriented version of socialism.
Is it the posted that weird map of like Soviet? No.
Oh, the Beria plan.
Yeah.
That rocks. All right. That whips. I support that.
No. It wasn't. I don't know. I saw you like fighting with someone on Twitter.
Yeah. No, it was like kind of. Oh, you mean the person who like what will then like the what if we just made Nazi Germany but then just like painted it red? Like
yes.
These are these are like exactly. These are like BS Vilas. And so there was one guy, this isn't that guy, but then one of these people who then kind of is like posting on a second account, people found out was like one of the heads of these things. And there's this very embarrassing video where he's like, oh, I got to like touch her. Like,
oh, Lord.
It's just so lame. She's like, I got to ask her a question. And it's like, you can't like don't be trying to be all tough on Twitter when there's like videos of you just like frothing over the mouth of like, oh, Sarah Wagenknecht looked at me like on German public broadcasting, mind you.
That's like me being 10 years old, shaving my legs because I thought like going to the One Direction concert because I thought I would get brought backstage or something. And I said legs to not be like too crass.
I've often said I would love to be on on one of these very self-serious mahogany studio German talking head shows of like about
what are you talking
politics.
about? You're sitting on a lovely wood bed frame right now.
No, but you know what I mean. Like the entire studio is made of varnished wood. I don't know why all German talking head shows look like that. I'm probably thinking of Lutz, whatever his show is called.
Sure, probably
but
it's just called Lutz.
Yeah, it's probably just called Lutz. But like, I'd love to be on one of those shows and just force them to be like, all right, so who in politics is Zayn? Who in politics is not Horan?
Send me in.
Uma like parachuting in night vision goggles. Like my moment has arrived.
Yeah, I'm sitting today with Robert Habeck. Today we're gonna find out which Hogwarts house he belongs in.
No, I think still liking One Direction at my old age is less embarrassing than still liking Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
what is
really biased?
You see the HBO statement that was just like, "We support J.K. Rowling and everything she says. We're still making the TV show about Harry Potter," and it's just like, oof. You didn't have to go through this.
But speaking of transphobes, the BSV people are really like, it's kind of funny that you like bring up the thing of like, what if all the blue-haired people ended up in that party? I think that just like half of that party of mostly these young freaks who are just like, oh, there's only two genders, but I'm I'm a leftist in the traditional sense, which just means that they're right, that they're right wingers have. You can have left wing economic positions and still be right wing. Like,
it's so weird how like a country that isn't Russia needs the Russian Communist Party. Because like that's what that party is. It's like, we're not communist, we're just kind of nostalgic for the 70s. And it's just like, but we have all this, there's the hammer and sickle here or whatever, but oh man, wasn't it great when things were straightforward? Not like Russia now, which is too woke. And like, what? dude fucking
wrong country.
Yeah, I would love to like have I bet that this person exists. What am I talking about? Because I talked about the like Kamala person, found out that's a real thing. Someone who's like such a Russian crank that they're just like, or it could be even just like, anywhere else in Europe that then has this like Soviet nostalgia and they're like, oh yeah, I hate Putin because he's like secretly trans. That's real. I know that it has to be.
Yeah, that's like
they're transvestigating Putin.
Can't believe they do that. I'm gonna fuel the fire like under any official post made by the like Russian Foreign Ministry of like pictures of him. I'll just be like, looking good, Queen. And just like some insane Duganist from like who lives in Colorado, just like, has screenshotted this tweet, red circle around, JPEG depreciated, like it's 6 pixels wide now, and just being like, what does it mean? And my account is called something like Angles and Airwaves or whatever.
Oh, that's sick. That's such a good name.
That was I found some old screenshots. This is apparently one of the Twitter handles I used at one point.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, feeling nostalgic for Twitter now that I'm just like not posting on it. I'm just
Oh
posting
yeah,
on Blue
I've converted. I mean, also I get engagement there, so that's nice.
We need to.
Are you gonna make me go to Blue Sky?
We're gonna make you go to Blue Sky.
Are you not there yet? We're having a blast.
No, because I have like 100 social media profiles everywhere, so I'm like,
all right, we can get rid of your Be Real account. It's or whatever.
I mean, it still exists. I am not obviously posting anything, but I have the bad habit of actually not deleting my profiles.
We gotta keep up with what's his name, former Prime Minister of France. His Be Real account.
Twink. Yeah, I don't know.
The beautiful twink. My beautiful French twink. All right. Should we talk about like the SPD, the man of the hour?
Always. Our fallen hero, R.I.P. Olaf Scholz.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Pistorius.
No.
I mean, did he die too?
No, but today, well, I mean, it's on the notes, but he came out today saying, not came out, like he posted a video today saying that he is not going to run as chancellor. And because he's unavailable. What the fuck does that mean? Olaf Scholz went to his house with like the fucking
with the eye patch.
With the eye patch, it was just like, you're not running.
I do think that the path to victory for Olaf Scholz is he just needs to commit to wearing the eye patch all the time.
Yeah,
and just be like,
and he starts. Yeah, Olaf Scholz starts having that like fake Margaret Thatcher accent that just sounds extra evil.
Or like we find out that like Olaf Scholz is kind of like in a Yu-Gi-Oh situation where he's like possessed by the spirit of an ancient pharaoh that comes out, makes him taller, and his voice is deeper. He wears an eye patch.
Yeah, he fucking comes out, just starts like talking and looking like Xerxes from 300.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, that's what happened to fucking Pistorius. He's been banished to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be honest, looking at that one, I don't think it maybe would be the best idea for the SPD to run Pistorius. So,
yeah, like it's a name I haven't heard in a bit. And for the listeners, can someone give a rundown of Pistorius? Like his deal.
Should I do it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, yeah.
Definitely.
Pistorius was is the defense minister of Germany who replaced, I forget her name now. This just shows how relevant the Scholz government has been in the long run. And she had, I should have looked this up before. She had some scandal that really wasn't that big of a deal. Had to then step down, and then Scholz appoints Pistorius, who is much more from like the conservative wing of the SPD, and kind of with this idea that like he was going to come with this more like
Lambrecht.
Yeah, Christine Lambrecht. Yeah. But the scandal that she had was like really stupid, if I don't remember like correctly. It was something that it was like one of those like fake German scandals that's like,
Wikipedia just says numerous political blunders.
Yeah, I mean, like Biden has those.
Oh my God, this is the stupidest thing.
Yeah,
Lambrecht was criticized for taking her son with her using an army helicopter while she went for visiting troops, and her son went on holiday.
That is sick. All right,
a political scandal broke out after he posted pictures of it on Instagram.
All right, first off, she's just being a good mom. All right.
If you have access to a helicopter and your son is like, can I ride with you? Because like they're not chartering the helicopter for him. She's already taking it.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest.
She was being green. He was going that way anyway.
Exactly.
That
is so stupid. Oh my God.
That's cool. I think that that's a cool reason to be kicked out of the government. You're just like, you're being a good parent.
Misuse of the company car.
Misuse of the
brackets,
company car. Yeah, brackets military helicopter.
Eurofighter.
Yeah. Yeah, my son just wanted to have a ride. You know, my son wanted to launch a Taurus missile. Why can't you let him? Yeah. So it was really like it was one of these stupid things. Pistorius gets put into the position because he's seen as a more like level-headed military kind of guy. And that is about it. He really kind of like set the the stage for how the Scholz government as well dealt with like Ukraine. They wanted someone who was going to be more, in their opinion, level-headed towards like, their position with NATO, the position within Ukraine. Not that like Germany wasn't going to like not support Ukraine. I think it was like very clear from day one that the Scholz government has been beyond supportive, even in the sense of that then like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like they had little debates here and there about, oh, should we send tanks? Shouldn't we send tanks? Oh, would you look at that? They sent tanks. Oh, should we, send Taurus missiles? Should we not send Taurus missiles? Well, probably going to send Taurus missiles, and no one can use them. So great. It's just like Germany's been doing, like kind of this back and forth of oh, like will they, won't they? Oh, at the end they do. And
it also seems like they kind of want another country to do it first. Like I always
yeah,
feel like
yeah. Germany doesn't. Germany
France
doesn't want to be
America.
seen as then being like. I mean, this is kind of hard to imagine because Germany has been very BFF with Israel so much in terms of like military expenditures. But Germany never wants to be seen in the position that they're being like quote unquote militarily aggressive. Even with the like weapon shipments to Israel, they continuously mention their support of an active genocide being that of like, oh, it's Israel's defense. It's Israel's defense. It's like we're not, where Israel is very open of like we're going to, clear everything in sight of Gaza and also annex the West Bank. And Germany is still just like lying to themselves of like, well, that obviously just means like Israel's defense, even though we observe that behavior of being illegal, like this, like Germany like openly condemns the settlements, but then, Israel uses German munitions in the settlements, like Germany's not here telling Israel, no, don't do that. They're just like, oh, we think that that's not nice.
I like, it's very hard to imagine Germany officially sending troops over there.
They won't do it.
They wouldn't do it. And like if they did, it would only be after like the Americans or British did first.
Yeah.
Like joint exercise, whatever. Like I can't, despite their like insane fervor.
Yeah, like Pistorius has been open within the sense of pushing more German troops into like NATO positions. That there's a German military position in Lithuania. That he agreed to have, I think it was like 10,000 more German troops join or something like that. Like it was a pretty large number. And so he's been very like, Pistorius has definitely been on like the front line of kind of like, what is Germany's new position in NATO going to look like? A country that then is always kind of teetered with this, moral dilemma that doesn't really actually exist on paper because Germany is quite militarily aggressive, always joining like, I mean, even if then they had the moment with like the Greens in the 2000s or whatever, Germany still kind of like ends up miraculously somehow in Afghanistan and Iraq, regardless of saying that they weren't going to go and do this stuff. So, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know why German media made such a big deal about Pistorius. Like, it wasn't really on my radar that he was being like, possibly like the scepter was given to him.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just seen a lot of headlines just saying that the more popular one, the more popular Pistorius, and I'm just like, is he? is he the more popular guy? Like, he's just there.
Yeah,
I guess.
like,
Like,
I always like find it when I see like German popularity polls, and it's just like 3 people who look the exact same. It's just like it's like, all right, like it's the Keebler elf 4 different times. Like, all right,
it's like when there's Vox Pops. There's a video of Vox Pops, and there's like, people are saying the same things. It's like, yeah, because you chose the 3 people that look the same, have the same kind of job, have the same amount of money. Of course they're gonna say that shit.
Yeah.
So yes, that's exactly the thing with Pistorius.
Yeah, and I mean the thing that then I'm also kind of interested too of, and maybe you have a little bit more insight of this as well. I guess I've become the Germany whisperer on this show somehow by by default. Is like I think that then like the SPD could easily like round up Scholz into being like a character that then could run again, especially in the sense that they could just be like, oh yeah, he really asserted himself against the FDP, because like the FDP made a really stupid blunder. Scholz just kind of called them out on it, and now it's like, yeah, okay, fine, he's crashing. Like, they're making it out to be that Scholz is crashing the government when in reality it's the FDP who self-sabotaged. But there is probably some room. Like, I know that Scholz isn't like particularly popular, but it's like these people are all boring. Like, again,
they're the same person but different font.
Yeah, really.
Slightly
Yeah.
different.
Like, I can't think, I mean, just like I mentioned, you said in the sense of like, where you're like, is Pistorius really well liked? Like, I can't tell. It's like, I can't think of a single person who's currently in the SPD that I'd be like, oh, well, they're a real fucking go-getter, like,
right.
It's such.
I think the SPD is very happy with like the group itself is very happy with Scholz. I think they're very happy that he fired Lindner, and that the whole thing is. I do really think, as you said, yeah, they're probably gonna be like, hey, it wasn't us who fucked up. It was FP. It was them.
Yeah,
and we're gonna come and save Germany's ass from these people self-sabotaging the government or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think one of the most interesting developments that I've seen has been like how the CDU as well has kind of tried to they've tried to like give like an olive branch to the FDP. And I know that then that, because I mentioned on an episode a few weeks ago when we were talking about the general, like the collapse of the coalition, of that then, well, the CDU could do more like, national economy stuff. They could revitalize certain things, this and that and that. They don't have to do the like really hard, strict following of like the Schwarze Null. They don't need to have this like dogmatic view of the German economy like they like still kind of have. And I need to bite my tongue because the day after that episode came out, like I read a headline that then is like Merz is willing to offer Lindner the position of finance minister again. So one, it's the sense that then that, of course, and I mean, I think we called this, or whether I called it on the show or just in talking with people, of that then the FDP was always in the German coalition. It was always in the traffic light coalition to sabotage. They wanted to show not the SPD and the Greens that they can govern. The FDP knows that if you want to get anything done in this town, you got to work with the CDU. And previously, as mentioned, Lindner wanted to get into coalition with the CDU, was not offered the finance ministry, and they more or less kicked him out of talks. Now that he is shown in the sense that he can be a sly little weasel, more or less, Merz likes that about that and kind of like, oh yeah, like, like good, you've done like my bidding. and now just like has offered him a position that then he's probably not going to get because he may not even make it into the parliament. So exactly. And then that just kind of raises the question too of then like, well, what is the CDU? I mean, it's kind of the one thing of that then, if the CDU runs on these kind of like, quite like neoliberal extreme positions, mixed in with then the bizarre intricacies of the German like spending, like budget and debt systems and whatnot. I guess I have to then assume the sense that then that the average voter is not going to care too much about that, because the general like feeling in Germany, at least also just from a polling that I don't know how much to trust, is that like 70% of Germans want the CDU in government, doesn't matter which way, which is disgusting to think about. You know, I want to assume not all Germans, but 70% is a lot of people.
I mean, the fact that we already have CDU in government in the city, well, not government, as a CDU mayor in Berlin.
Oh, that's because
everything is going to shit already.
You know how the CDU got into government here in the city, right? Like they just like they cheated the election.
Yeah.
So like like it's the
Who says they're not going to do this?
No. I mean, when we had to, none of us voted because we don't have, German passports.
Right.
But we don't have rights in this damn country. The CDU pretty much just like tried to like audit these areas that they said were being fucked up because of the Enteignung vote. So like the housing expropriation vote, and the thing that was very weird, and these were all like CDU mostly held areas that then were like the ones that were these irregularities were seen. And so when they did the re-election, they just kind of like no one went to go to the polls, and they won by default because the only people who go to vote are like diehard old people who all vote like CDU in the like the outer ring of Berlin. So. That to me is fishy. Like, that's not...
Oh, 100%, yeah. Did you see that they're scraping Museum Sunday? Which
with the budget cuts.
No sense whatsoever. How much money are you spending on letting a few hundred people go in for free to so many museums, like one day a month, not even a week, a month?
It's the thing of that then the city is run by people who live on the outskirts of the city who hate Berlin,
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's the sense of that then it's like, well, first off, the type of politic that they care a lot about is like, oh, I want to park my car. They've made more free parking spaces in Germany, which if you want to talk about a way to easily fucking collect money from people, like, I don't like, if you have a car in the city, you are mentally disturbed. You are.
Honestly, yeah. I don't even have a driving license.
Me neither.
Which I should. I'm 26, but still.
I don't have a driver's license either. I mean, I have one of
You're American.
Yeah, of course, I have an American license. I can. All right. I am from a country that loves cars.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm from a
At 17.
16. All right. Got in my first accident like a week after I got my license. I probably, you should not be getting a license at that age. It's a very stupid thing. But yes, I've had my license since I can drive. I know how to drive. I like enjoy driving normally, unless that is in the city of Berlin. And I know, yes, of course, there's like worse cities. It's not like, I mean, yeah, sure. It's like, I can guarantee that it's like not like driving around in like Jakarta or something like that. But for, for a city that then like the registrations of cars in general in Germany have like skyrocketed. The amount of cars on there's too many cars on the streets for for a city that then can't like sustain it. And the thing that then just like, and it's all these discussions too of like, because you see like every week like another dumb article of like, is the Deutschland ticket worth keeping? It's like, yes. Like, I don't care.
100%.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like the fact that then that it's like, one, I can travel nationally on the rails, and it also like just is a general like ticket for local transit and stuff like that everywhere. It's like this should become like just mandatory. But no, we have is Deutsche Bahn, it's like you're a state subsidized company. I don't give two you don't need to run a profit. The idea that then that the train, like the national train system, needs to be a for-profit institution is stupid. I don't care.
100%.
The military is not a for-profit institution. The German military loses money every single fucking year. So you care about that for some reason, this thing that then you don't even use. Like, oh, what do you like if Germany got into a war, they get their ass handed to them. Like if like France invaded Germany, the entire like Germany would be taken over in a week. Like what Putin wanted to do to Ukraine could be done to Germany by any surrounding country. Their military is so stupidly weak. But you're willing to throw hundreds of billions of dollars at that fucking thing because we're all horny for war. But then the things that then actually, and I know that then like the museum things on a state level or a city level, or I guess both technically for Berlin, it's like I don't like, we need nice things. You know, like we need infrastructure, and the thing is that I don't think like going into these elections, I don't know if like if a party's actually going to like come and like address those issues. It doesn't seem very clear because like the SPD did really well when they like did the whole thing of like, okay, yeah, like higher minimum wage. We need, you know, these like material things. That's how they kind of like won the last election. You know, especially because the sense of like Merkel did leave Germany in this kind of like bizarre economic position of, you know, everyone was wondering, oh, yeah, Germany's so great under Merkel. And then like immediately, like a year later, there's articles coming out of The Economist being like, wait, what the fuck's wrong with Germany? And then having to point to like all these like Merkel initiatives of like, oh, they like, you know, fucked their economy up internally. And it's just been like the Scholz government's kind of been this continuation of it. Yes, you can probably make the argument that then it has been, like, of course, sabotaged financially from the FDP. But I don't see this SPD campaigning on like maybe we should spend more, like, you know. Like
no. I mean, we're so fucked that even my mom, who lives in Spain, which is also not known for its great economy, is constantly being like, when are you guys moving back to Barcelona? I'm like, well, yeah, but also public transport here is so expensive in general as well. Like, what do you mean? I mean, I'm paying the Deutschland ticket, which is great, but I don't know. For example, my parents are coming to visit next week, right? And each fucking single ticket is like €3. It's an insane amount of money. I remember they were almost like, well, not riots, but people were already up in arms.
There should have been.
But in Barcelona, when the single ticket was raised to like €1.10 from 80 cents, which, yes, like, it's, what do you mean I have to pay €3 for like 2 stops on the train? It's so like the prices here are insane. I remember when I moved here, I was the Deutschland ticket didn't exist, so I was paying, and I had to go to Potsdam, which is C, like the area C, right? So I had to pay the expensive monthly ticket, which was €80. Like €80.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking scam. It's insane.
Was it not included in your like study like fees?
I moved here before I started the masters, because I'm stupid. I thought we were starting in September, and then they were like, no, November actually.
Oh,
and I was like,
well.
fuck.
Yeah. No, because I mean, like the one thing I loved about being at university here was that you get the ABC ticket. That ripped. But yeah,
with your picture as well. So you were like, "Here's my." I never
had my picture on it.
You didn't have a picture?
No.
Oh, I had a great selfie that I took. The first, it's like your passport that people are just staring at you like, that's not you. You look way too good in this picture. No, not that. Because I don't look like that in real life.
Yeah, it's just a picture of someone else, actually. Like,
yeah, actually, that's my cousin.
So I mean, I mean, we'll see also like how the stuff plays out too. With like, I mean, the election's 2.5 months away. It's not a lot of time. I know that we'll be talking about it more and more and more. It's kind of very unclear right now too to see what, like, I mean, whatever polling shows, the CDU is probably gonna be the next government.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Merz as chancellor. I think that's very clear. I'm curious of what the government is gonna look like, because
what kind of weird coalition they'll have to,
like,
the sleepy bear coalition.
Yeah, the Sleepy Time Bear Coalition, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is just only the AFD.
Exactly.
But there was like one point of interest this week too that kind of, I think, also like escaped containment of just Berlin, of Germany being bizarrely on one, and that was there was a local screening of the movie.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Wait, I forget the name of the movie. Shoot. No Other Land, which is for Germany somehow a hyper controversial film of a movie about, I think, the West Bank, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's not even a movie. It's like a documentary.
A documentary. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not fiction. It's a full-on documentary about life in the West Bank. Shows both realities from settlers and Palestinians. Very normal, non-biased, normal documentary. And I do remember there was already a bunch of fucking complaining because it actually premiered at Berlinale last February, and there was already this whole thing. People were complaining. There's two directors, yeah, and one of them is Jewish and from Israel, I believe, right? And yeah, and it was basically he had to come out and be like,
yeah, Yuval Abraham is his name, the one director,
exactly.
the one. It's weird too because the Palestinian director, in this sense, didn't get he got shit too because he's Palestinian. But Germany really had like an absolute field day with Yuval Abraham because he is an anti-Zionist Jew, made this movie, not even just Jew, anti-Zionist Israeli Jew, who made this movie to show the realities of the settlements and whatnot. Was then there was this very weird campaign too, where then like also they got mad at the culture minister Claudia Roth, who she then made this bizarre comment where she's like, no, I wasn't clapping for the Palestinian, I was just clapping for the Jewish Israeli guy.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah. She was, because there was so much controversy about this documentary being shown, and she had to clarify, like, no, I'm just clapping for the one. I'm not an
anti-Semite, but I am racist.
That is Germany in a nutshell. Yeah. But they are so weird about Jewish people that they do end up being anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's exactly what they're doing with this poor guy. Because go on. Sorry,
no, totally fine. So they had the listing on like the Berlin website for like things to do in the city, berlin.de. And the listing on the official website then said that, like this movie has like, criticisms of being anti-Semitic. Which
no. It said, sorry. It's even worse because it didn't say that people have criticized it. It says that it has anti-Semitic tendencies.
Yeah.
Like, as a matter of fact, as a statement, this movie has,
Yeah. So, and then the city then eventually, like, after the damage has been done, they went, fixed it, more or less like gave an apology or whatever. But still, nonetheless, it got screen capped a bunch of times. Everyone kind of saw it. Even like people internationally saw it, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, first off, reason number, 3 million. Of that Germany can't seem to understand that what anti-Semitism apparently means you hurt my German feelings at the end of the day. And
exactly.
And it just kind of like ties in with like all this like other like really like, because there was first that, and then which the controversy was stupid. Even like, they showed the movie, at least. It wasn't that it was canceled, this and that and that. That's at least good. I don't think Germany, I guess, could cancel an Israeli movie. That would be, that would be a little bit of a, even if it is critical of Israel, that would be kind of the thing that then they still can't bring themselves to do that, But
yeah.
the other like really interesting one that came out that kind of is like in a similar vein is that then the local like so Berlin police then also did their like report of like crime in Berlin, and they said that then that one that Jews and gay people need to be careful in Neukölln, which is the funniest thing because that's like one of the gayest fucking districts of Berlin.
Go on Grinder.
Yeah, in Neukölln. Yeah,
like please be serious for a second.
Yeah, and then just to add the cherry on top of being really stupid, they then said that the Berlin police is the like they experience a lot of anti-Semitic violence, which
for fuck's sake,
I've really tried to wrap my head around what that means.
I think it's just that people are mean to me in pro-Palestine demos, like that's what for them means anti-Semitic violence, because they think that these people are all anti-Semitic, right? So they're like, oh, boo-hoo, they yelled at me.
It's just, it really is just like anti-Semite to especially people on the right, or I guess or there's like the general kind of like right-wing liberal consensus, which then I guess like the police are definitely a part of, has really just come to mean here Arab people. Because
100%.
Kieran and I were talking earlier, I guess what's down on the bonus episode, so then you'll hear this after if you're a subscriber. So if you don't subscribe to the podcast on Patreon, you should.
You don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you don't
That's definitely gonna make them subscribe.
Exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna bully you into subscribing. But that this kind of sentiment of anti-Semitism just being the thing that then I can now get away with like all this, saying that then something is like anti-Semitic or whatever. It means that one, I don't have to actually know what that word means anymore because most Germans don't. And even I know like there was a guy who was like at the camp who was saying that then like a random German guy came up to him and was like having a conversation with him and was having like a pretty good conversation, and then just like out of nowhere just kind of like looks both ways and is like, oh, but like you hate the Jews, right? And he's
oh my god,
he's like, what? No, of course not. Like what are you like? Why?
Because he hated the Jews and wanted somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just this thing of
fucking,
it's really bizarre in the sense, especially too, of like the same freaks in Germany who like promote the most like genuine like actual like anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish sentiment, or like anti like whatever, like Zionist conspiracy theory bullshit. It's like not to say that then that you don't like like the left has a problem with this too. It's not to then just say like I really try to like I've gotten in a few conversations with people recently where they're all like, oh, like it took me so long to realize like is what Zionism was, and then they keep going on. It's like that's like actually bad, like you're missing how this is a part of imperialism. You think that then that the Jews might control the world,
yeah exactly.
That's bad. And it's the same thing too with like do I really trust Beatrix von Storch and her opinion on combating anti-Semitism? Like, no, of course not. Like you're literally in a Nazi party. Like,
yeah. Well, it's like it's this banality in the end of just using this word so much that it loses meaning and it loses its original meaning, and then everything is anti-Semitism for these people, but then it's doing a disservice to actual Jews and actual people that suffer and face actual anti-Semitism, because it's not the same saying free Palestine than, I don't know, burning a synagogue or something like that.
Which like Nazis are still doing, it's
exactly.
These are crimes that then happen still quite regularly in Germany, and even the statistics from the Bundesverfassungsschutz says that these are done overwhelmingly by right-wing extremist groups. Like, they even have their own data saying that, these are Nazis committing this. These are right-wing extremists. These are, like, actual right-wing anti-Semitic groups. The amount of these attacks that have been done by left-wingers or, like, Muslims or Arabs or whatever are, like, practically non-existent, even in their own statistics. You know?
Yeah, but then if someone who's maybe not so okay in the head but happens to be Arab and is caught trying to set something on fire, or like a synagogue or something like that on fire, that gets exploited so much by German media and German and international, but obviously especially German media.
Yeah.
But then when there's Nazis roaming free, doing marches literally in the middle of Berlin, shush.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah. And I think also that we can, like, kind of close it out too on a similar note with that of we are recording this on Friday the 22nd. So this is the day after the ICC has official. So to clarify, because I've been seeing everyone report this wrong. The ICC had already
getting too excited.
The ICC issued these warrants like 6 months ago. And what happened was that then Israel challenged them, saying that these are like not like you can't do this. And then the ICC came back and refuted their challenge and said no, these still stay. That is what happened. So then that means that these arrest warrants are then actually like official after this like review that they did. And now comes the sense of the countries that have signed the Rome Statute, which means that you have to pretty much follow. It's highly regarded that your country is going to follow through with what the ICC decrees. Now, yes, we can make there's a whole entire argument to be made about even what people in the ICC have just said aloud of that then, this is the court for Putin and like African war criminals, not Western countries. Yes, all true. But you know what? We got the first time that then a Western country or Western ally is then being, possibly, that an arrest warrant's been taken out. And would it be a surprise to you that Germany doesn't know how to react to this right now?
Have they not said anything?
Germany has not said anything yet. The foreign ministry did say something. The foreign ministry said that they respect as an institution that then for what the ICC stands for, they respect it as an institution. However, Germany's relationship to Israel is a special one, and therefore this arrest warrant must be possibly reconsidered by the German government. So they haven't given any like thing. They're just gonna be like, we're gonna think about it. Now
they're just like, Your Honor, but he's my bestie.
Exactly. If Germany was smart and they still want to like maintain and preserve the state of Israel, which I hate to break for, if you're a German and you're listening to this, I hate to break it to you. The state of Israel is like collapsing in real time. Economy is shit. Militarily, they're hyper exhausted. Even though, like, the only thing that they can do is kill women and children with fucking drones. Their own military cannot hold any ground, whether it be in Gaza or whether it be in Lebanon. They are getting their asses absolutely handed to them on multiple fronts. They just can continuously do more and more and more collateral damage, a.k.a. commit a genocide against people who are not at all involved in this. So if you want to think that because Israel is doing a lot of damage means that they are like militarily strong, you are a baby. You need to stop watching like action movies and like the military actions from Hamas and their allies and Hezbollah and their allies are something that Israel has never been able to actually like combat like successfully. They've been able to keep them at bay, but so you have a government crisis happening too at the same time. All these other things, yes, the right is getting more empowered there. People are getting, more insane within the ideology of Zionism with these annexations, so on and so forth. These are typically behaviors of a nation state that is like crumbling. If
collapse.
Exactly. If Germany was smart, they would just go through with it and be like, yeah, arrest Netanyahu, arrest Gallant. They're the ones that then are like, they're the problem, not Israel. That is the easiest way to get like every like Western nation should be doing this thing, because then they can just wipe their hand clean of it. Biden and Scholz and, you know, other Western powers can then pretty much like put the blame. Like Benjamin Netanyahu's not even worth keeping around if he's your ally. Let's just be like realistically so. He's been out of his mind for like 30 fucking years in politics. And he's pretty much a quasi dictator of Israel at this point. Just get rid of him. You like getting rid of dictators that you befriend all the time. You know, like why not just do it this way? So it's funny to me that like Germany's friendship to Israel even extends down to like these insane personalities that they could just like blame it on. You know, like they're missing the smart answer here. Like it's just like Germany can still commit genocide and not get in trouble for it, you know? But they just they don't seem to like register that. I don't know. That's at least how I see it. If I was in the German government, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that Netanyahu guy. Like arrest his ass, but I'm still Israel's best friend. You know?
Yeah. Keir Starmer did exactly the same. Like literally we're almost word for word being like, oh, we really respect the ICC and love them. Yes. But Israel, we love Israel and we hate Hamas.
Israel isn't getting, the country of Israel is not the one getting the fucking arrest warrant. It's two fucking losers. Just like if you were like, I mean, Canada said that they're going to abide by it, which it's like, I mean, we can criticize Canada for all they want, but you know what? Whatever, sure, fine. Viktor Orban invited Netanyahu to come to.
He's like, just take a holiday in our country. We're not gonna arrest you. Which they're fucking. Orban loves Netanyahu. And Israel and
Viktor Orban, absolutely not an anti-Semite.
No, exactly, right? Like they at work they were like, oh, you should monitor for because the Maccabi Tel Aviv is playing in the Serbian or whatever the version, like a fucking place in Hungary. Against
Besiktas,
yeah. And they were like, oh, you should monitor for pro-Palestine protests outside. I'm like, this is Hungary. What are you? Do you keep up with the news at all? There's not going to be. If anything, Orban is going to be there, like the only person allowed to watch the match. You know?
To show how much. I mean, like Orban does love Israel. I mean, Orban is the quintessential like neo-Nazi who loves the idea of like of a Jewish nation state, you know. But
exactly.
I guess we have to kind of just like, you know, keep watching this one as well. Germany, just make up your fucking mind with shit. First off, you're making us pay attention to you a little bit too much. But I am curious of like the coming days of, because it is the thing too of like in terms of like the liberal international order, like the ICC is like one of the main institutions that like grounds it. What happens if this like becomes like delegitimized? Yes, okay, you can make the argumentation that then because a bunch of countries, including like the United States, don't really acknowledge it, even though they made it. But it is like this thing that like Europe, especially post World War II, sees this as like a very important institute for maintaining justice in the post. I mean, it literally comes to exist because of the Holocaust.
Yeah, it's literally like the one organization or like court that all liberals are like, love you, you know, like
Mwah.
we agree. Mwah.
Yeah, I mean,
no, but it's like what you were saying, like it's the only one that everyone's like, yes, we do agree, we like you, so what now?
Or, you know, maybe Israel can do what the United States did, where they just pass a local law saying, well, you can't do that. Like the Holland Invasion Act of 2002, which is one of my favorite dumb, stupid little tidbits of information of, one, why would you pass a law right before, like right in the beginning of an invasion that you're doing in a country if you know that you're not, like, you know that you're going to be doing bad shit. Like, oh, by the way, we're going to fucking wreck shit and be really evil. And if you criticize that, we will also invade your country.
Man. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that one really, like, the Germany ICC thing, I'm surprised that we haven't seen them like labeled as Hamas, because some German dumbass probably has that. Like,
I bet
Josef,
some journalist, quote unquote,
yeah,
on Twitter has done that already. Some German.
Josef Schuster, who's like the head of the like Jewish like Council of Germany, already like did like a long, lengthy thing, condemning the ICC for anti-Semitism, this and that and that. But yeah, Joseph Schuster, who's like a
is he Jewish?
Yeah. He is. So he's the head of like the like Jüdischer Rat or whatever it's called, like the Jewish German National
But it's just
Council.
like Germans love having
yeah
these weird, well, not weird, but these like organizations of like friends of Jewish people or like Jewish and then all the heads are like non-Jewish.
Yeah. Or like the all of the like local like Antisemitismusbeauftragte, one of whom I found out recently is Mormon.
Oh, okay. That exists in Germany as well. That's insane.
Yes, he is the Antisemitismusbeauftragte for Berlin and Brandenburg. Former member of former member of the FDP and a current member of Die Linke. So he's an interesting, bizarre character. Yeah.
Okay, we need a whole episode on this guy, apparently.
Oh, yeah, we
Jesus
do.
Christ.
But the only one that then really topped it this week was that then pretty much the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung said that the Pope likes Hamas, or that the Pope is Hamas, because he called for an investigation into genocide. So just like, how much like goofier can like how much dumber can you allow yourself to get? Like, the Pope is Catholic, and the only thing the Catholics actually are good about is being like, actually war might be bad. Like they may not like the gays and they may have stupid opinions on abortion, but at least they're like, hey, killing kids is not good. Does it surprise you that then the Pope is not, oh, I am for the complete onslaught of Gaza. Yeah, hooray, Israel. And then they tried to compare the Pope's statement to like the Catholic Church's position during World War II.
Oh my Jesus. Honestly, you can always count on Germany to be stupider and stupider.
Yeah, that's why I'm staying
here. There's no limit, baby. There's no limit. Yeah. They're always gonna surprise you, shock you, flabbergast you, etc., etc.
And we're here to report and to make you not feel that way, and make you not feel stupid or that you're going cuckoo bananas out in not even just Germany. Europe's just looking kind of grim right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think I have much more to add for
me neither.
The Germany breakdown, the Germany hour, which I wish that other countries do stuff.
Next week we're gonna have new stuff on Germany.
Please don't. Germany,
it's never ending.
Yeah, can Germany just stop? I mean, can Portugal get up to something? I want like a sunny, sexy country to do something, not like not a country full of, like
dark vibe.
Yeah, just a bunch of elves, like little Keebler elves running around.
Goblins,
yes. But anyway, do you have anything to shout out?
Nope.
I don't think I do either. So
we're all good.
All right. On that note, we will see you guys all on the bonus feed. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, I'm Kieran.